Fabulous. Okay, so today I'd like to introduce you all to Dina Helen Essoka. She is the founder and CEO of Essokafrique Security, and I'm just going to make sure she's pinned here so you can see her. Hello, Helen. You look lovely today. Let me make sure everyone sees you here. Spotlight for everyone. Fabulous. And I'm just going to give everyone a bit of an intro to who you are for those who don't already know you. So Dina Helen Essoka is a multi-talented CEO of Flic, Elekam Partners Incorporated and Essokafrique Security, which is a bilingual private security company based in Ottawa. As a highly skilled security expert and licensed private investigator, Dina leverages over 20 years of experience in law enforcement and national security to ensure the protection of her clients' businesses, employees, and assets. Essokafrique Security's mission is to provide clients with peace of mind through integrated security solutions and products. So their exceptional products and services include security guard services, private investigation, and smart security devices. What's also unique is, as with many businesses in COVID-19, Elekam Partners Incorporated actually took the leap to expand into the e-commerce market. So this is Dina's other venture, which I'm sure she'll chat about. And so they offer on their online platform a wide range of exceptional products, ranging from smart security devices, cultural food staples, as well as a variety of health and beauty supplies. So I'll turn the mic to you, Dina, for you to go ahead and share with us, what made you reach out to OneHub, also a bit of your immigration journey and your entrepreneurial journey here in Canada so far.
Thank you so much, Tanisha. I am so glad to be here, and I want to say hi to everyone who is here today. Actually, I moved from Barrie to Ottawa, and I said I needed to reconnect with my new community, and that's why I went to World Skills and finally found myself with OneHub. So it's been a great journey. We have learned a lot from them. I have had several workshops and meetings with experts, and it's just been wonderful. And I've made new connections and had the opportunity as well to reach out to many people and tell them exactly what I do. So that's why I got to this program, and I'm ready to share my experiences with everyone and to encourage you all that just as I did it, every other person can do it as well.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna put you on the hot seat and ask you some questions about entrepreneurship in general and more about your journey, just for those who are interested in entrepreneurship to kind of get some insights into what goes into that labor of growing from the ground up a business and watching it grow and really putting in those hours. So what I'm going to do is ask you some of the questions we ask all of our guests here at our Lunch and Learn. And the first one I have for you is, do you believe there is a winning formula for becoming a successful entrepreneur? And what would you say that is?
So the first thing I would like to tell you all is that you should have the will to do it. So you should be very willing to do it. You should be very determined, and the most important factor is patience. You have to be very patient because it's not an easy journey. There are days you will get out there, you will try to look for clients, you will do everything, you put all the money, you will spend your last savings, take loans and everything, and nothing will seem to work. But the good news is, if there is patience, there is always a way, because no matter how long it takes, your hard work must come to life, and you will enjoy exactly what you worked for. So patience is a key word.
Patience is a key word. That's definitely something to remember from today. Dina, could you please tell us a little bit more about where the idea for your business came from?
So I moved to Canada 5 years ago, and when I got here, I started doing different jobs. I have a security background. Actually, I was a commissioner of police in my home country for close to 18 years, 17 to 18 years. So when I got here, for those of you who have an idea about security, it's a kind of closed profession where if you're a security officer, you're just a security officer. There is no, you can't diversify. You just have to work for the system, for the government. So when I got here, it was a little bit hard for me to find something else to do, because to get into the police force here, you have to be a citizen or a permanent resident, kind of. And I came here, I didn't have that status. So it was really, really hard for me. And now I had to switch career. But where do I go to? And I said, I still have to think. Then I started doing jobs like security guard jobs and other little jobs around, selling a few things. And then I said to myself that, what's going on here? What can't I do? I have managed units for so many years. And now I'm working as a security guard here. I think it's better for me to manage a security unit, because I have the idea, I have the background and everything. And that's when I started working for it. I would like to let you know that so many people talked to me at the time, and they said, it's going to be hard for you. Where would you get clients? Where would you meet people? And things like that. And I got discouraged at one point. And that's why I decided to do the multi-purpose kind of incorporation. So I'll be able to sell African foods as well while waiting for the security company to take off, because I heard a lot from people. But surprisingly, things were just going. They were just going because I was very determined. I was talking to everyone I met. I joined all the groups in the world. Each time I saw any group in the social media, I just joined. Even if it meant paying fees and everything, I did that. I went to the local communities, Chamber of Commerce, trade boards, and I joined all those groups. And that's where I met a lot of people, and I was able to share my experience with them. I attracted them. I made them know that I needed to be encouraged as a woman to get along with the security business, because it's not an easy thing. Then I told them that I had an extra thing to offer, because I will not only put the guards out there, but I am capable of making sure they do exactly what they have to do, because I have the experience about security. So everybody got attracted, and they were wondering, oh, what kind of woman who wants to go around in the night to see what security is going on? But believe me, I did that for so many years, and it's just part of my life. So I created the company, created the incorporation, did the documents. It took me a long time because they had to do a lot of background check. You know, with a security company, they must know that you are morally okay to do the thing. And they did it for a long time. It took me several months and even up to a year. And I finally got the license to practice. Then I went to do the private investigation course as well, because I had a dual license, which had to be private security guard and investigations. I went in to study the private investigation as well, and I got the license. So I will do the reports, even if I have guards down there or investigators doing the field work like surveillance and other things. They bring the reports back to me, and I have to analyze before I make the final report. So I finally got these things put together, and that's where I am today. I have the security company running, and I have the online African store running as well. So that's exactly how I got to this point. Thank you.
That is thank you for fleshing out that journey. And I'm sure for many immigrant entrepreneurs here, they can identify with that challenge of bringing over so many talents and years of experience and wanting to translate that here upon arrival. So you spoke to the realities of that so clearly, and I appreciate it. Also, what stands out from what you said is determination.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of determination. And you mentioned, you had naysayers. You had people who didn't see your clear vision, but regardless, you kept trekking along and going through the motions, waiting on getting all the licensing and things like that. And also the networking, which is a huge portion and so crucial to anyone who wants to be successful as an entrepreneur here in Ottawa. So I know we're going to have a Q&A portion. So anyone who has questions for Dina, definitely line them up. You can pop them in the chat. We have our intake and assessment referral counselor Sarah Travisoli is going to be reading those questions from the chat. So go ahead and get them ready. In the meantime, I have some more questions for you, Dina. My next one is, what has been the most satisfying moment in business for you so far?
So the most satisfying moment is, during the COVID, a lot of things went really cold. And that's where I saw my business having a standstill. But then I thought of this thing of going online and doing the e-commerce. I contacted Shopify, and I had my business registered online, and I created an online store. And the most exciting thing is when I started having sales. When I get up in the morning, I look at my phone and I have notifications that someone is trying to make an order, someone needs this kind of food, someone needs this kind of thing. Then I said, wow, this is selling from home. This is very exciting. So I did not bother about who is coming to the store anymore and who is not coming to the store because of COVID. I just decided now to put more energy on the online store. And I went and started doing a lot of ads. I went to Facebook and I was doing ads, my website and everything. I was just selling my products online. So I started having more and more customers. My community got to know a lot about what I sell. And that's how everything got to the level where I just couldn't imagine. Thank you.
Congratulations. I could just imagine how satisfying that is. Just wake up getting those notifications that you bringing value to someone's life. So that is just incredible. And I wish only more of that for you. Next question I have is, what piece of advice would you give a newcomer who wants to become an entrepreneur?
Thank you. There is something I'd like to tell you. It's a hard journey, especially as a newcomer in Canada. First of all, you have the problem of your accent. Nobody understands what you're talking. Everybody wants to know what you're saying, but they can't. So you have to fight your way out. Fight your way out. Try to join most of these welcome centers. I remember when I just got to Canada, I went to a welcome center in Vaughan. They assisted me a lot for free. So it's a free thing. Why not go in for the free thing? Do as many courses as you can. Learn a lot. Do the language course, especially do the language course. Try to be familiar with pronunciations, local pronunciations, and communicate all the time. Even if you are not doing it right, don't be ashamed. Don't worry about it. As time goes on, you just get used to, and they will get used to you talking to them using your own accent. So I'll advise everyone to get to a welcome center first. Like we are here now with One Hub. When I got to World Skills, everything was for free. And I was right there. I learned a lot. I had workshops. There were so many questions and answers, and I kept asking my questions. Do not close your mouth. Just keep asking questions. Whoever you meet, wherever you are, in any group, Ask the questions you need to ask and have the answers, because that will help you a lot. And stay focused. Just stay focused, be determined. It's not going to work as soon as you start it. I remember I have a volunteer with me. She should be here right now. I remember I told her that, listen, when you get here, just start doing the volunteer work. Just go there and learn. If I'm offering volunteer work in my company and you hear about it, please join. Come, because you're going to learn a lot. You just be learning. You just be learning new things, and that will establish you faster. And that's exactly what I did. I just kept volunteering everywhere they invited me. I would just go there. And each time I give out knowledge, I come back with something as well. So just keep doing it the way it is. Don't keep yourself at home. Don't get yourself locked up. Don't get discouraged. Just keep working and just be a hard worker, because sometimes we have in our own community, we don't work the way people work here. To be very honest, we get up when we want to get up, we go to work when we want to go to work, and sometimes every little thing we get discouraged. We are now in a very new environment where hard work is the key word. Just get up early in the morning and make sure you have a program, set your program, and do as much as you can for the day. And believe me, you will just keep moving. You will not regret it. You will be happy with yourself, and you'll be talking like me one day in this forum. Thank you.
Yes, I love that. We will be talking like you. Absolutely. I love how you mentioned, when you go out and do volunteer work, you also get something in return. And that's so incredibly valuable. Thank you for sharing that. And it sounds like you are a lifelong learner. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, you are.
Yes, I just hear you, and it just sounds like you have this hunger for learning more and being in new environments. And I'm sure that really benefits you in your business.
That's what I do. I can remember in my home, my kids would tell me, when would you stop learning? Each day you're having new courses. Each time we want to talk to you, you say, no, I'm following a program right now, so I will not be able to talk. They say, when will you stop learning? All your life? And I said, yeah, that's what keeps me strong. And that's what keeps me going, because each day I learn a new thing. Believe me, I'm so pleased with myself. I came to Canada, I wasn't able to use, I wasn't a tech savvy. I didn't know how to use, because we don't use that a lot out there. And out there, as a head of a unit, I had secretaries who could do the jobs and stuff like that. Most of the time, I just did the signing of documents and all of that. But coming here, I had to do everything by myself. I had to be on the phone. I had to take calls. I had to do the work on the computer and everything. So I had to learn all of these things. And to me, this is the best thing. This is the best thing I've had in my life, just having to do these things by myself. To be honest with you, this is the best thing. I keep asking myself, when will I go back to Cameroon to let people know this is a lot of good news? To learn how to use these tools myself today. Today, I'm tech savvy. I can tell you, I can touch anything when it comes to the computer. I'm so happy about that.
I love your confidence. I love your energy. That's amazing. How else do you grow and develop as an entrepreneur? I'm so eager to know.
So I do a lot of networking. That's the greatest strategy I have. I try to meet, each time I meet people, I don't take it for granted. I try to get connected with all of them, and I talk about my product. Mm-hmm. I'm always there to explain what I do and tell them. I make offers. Sometimes I make special offers, like this Christmas period. My security clients will be having free assessment, security assessment. So if you contact me, I will. You can ask me. You want, say, security camera. I will do a general assessment for the environment. I'll let you know. You may not even need a security camera. This is what you may need. So I give you an alternative, and that's how you're not paying for these extra services. I try to give free services during this period. So that increases my sales and increases my clients and things like that. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yes. So that's networking helps bring in people who you can just continue to give value to. And it just enriches the entire experience for everyone. So I love that you shared that. Another question for you before we go into Q&A, and just another reminder, for those of you who have burning questions to ask Dina, please pop them in the chat. We'll go into Q&A shortly. And so for you, Dina, we really want to know, what was the most important risk that you tackled in your business, and how did you overcome it?
So the most important problem I had was to raise finances. So that's the greatest, most difficult thing you can have, because as a newcomer, you will hear of all the grant and loan opportunities, but do you qualify? The question is, do you qualify? That's where the problem is. Each time you go and look at the conditions, they'll tell you, you must have worked for 2 years, you must have a tax assessments, you must have this sales or this amount of you must have had an operational budget worth this amount. And each time I went to do it, I did not qualify. To be honest, the first year, there was no way I could even qualify because I had not done it for 2 years. So I tried to get into my personal line of credit. I used my personal credit card, personal line of credit, did other jobs. I was working at the same time and developing the business. So each time I had my salary, after paying my rents and everything, whatever remains, like $200 or $300, I just put it in the business. So my personal savings did the job for me, my line of credit and my credit card. So do your best not to use your credit cards for things which are not very important, especially if you want to do business. Try to keep off personal things like buying clothes with your credit cards or buying house things if you want to do business, because that's going to help you a lot. Because with my credit card, I didn't have any bad credit, so I could always ask to increase it. Even my line of credit, I was always asking to increase it until I got to a point where I was able to make some monies to buy my basic things like computers, my office supplies, and every other thing. So, but now I've done 2 years something. I've just applied for the loan for Blacks that the government gave recently, and I'm waiting for the results. And probably I may have it because I already qualify. I have my 2 tax assessments already for the 2 years. I just have everything. I have a good business plan and everything, and my business has been working for 2 years. I'm just hoping that I'll qualify. That's what I can tell those who want to start business right now.
That's amazing. It's again, you're speaking to the reality that so many newcomer entrepreneurs have to experience, where you're in this gray area where you don't necessarily have a credit history. You have to rely on these financial services that could be risky. And so I like how you spoke to the reality of having to work and save every bit at a time. But it's also incredibly wonderful to hear that you applied to the loan for Black entrepreneurs, and that you checked every box. So that's so great.
I did. I'm really hoping for that right now, because that's going to make me get relaxed and do it big. Yeah.
Yes. No, that's so great. Last question from me before we go to Q&A. Why do you believe customers choose your company over your competition?
So with my company, first of all, I tell customers it's a new company and it's a small company. And what I've noticed is that when a company is still new and small, they try to offer the best services. I have worked with big companies before and I know what they offer. And I always advise people, if you want details, if you want us to pay attention to those necessary details, get a smaller company because they are still trying to make a name. They're still struggling to attract the customers and they want to do it the best. But bigger companies, they have a lot of customers. They don't mind if you are not really happy with them and there's nothing they can do. Well, they will say they are sorry. They'll just write to you and say we're sorry about it, but they won't really bother about you as a customer. But with a small company like mine, I care about individuals. If you hire me, say for an event, or you hire me to cover security in a construction site, I will not only let my security guards work there, I will make sure that every day I am there to see if they are actually there and doing the right thing. And I also have extraordinary devices. I'm working on that, where I could follow them up from home. I could know at what time they clock in and the different spots they're supposed to do their different controls. They should be on those spots at the specific times. So I'm taking my time to follow up this detail. That's why I always ask my clients, it's good to get with the big names and those who have stayed in business for so many years, but believe me, come to me and enjoy what they call paying attention to details when it comes to my business expertise. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for the detail in that. And it sounds like you have some exciting things on the horizon. And it's also important to note that that is the competitive advantage of a lot of small businesses, is that you have that tailored support, that tailored care. And you're definitely wise for directing people in that way and just letting them know the reality that you are working with a new, smaller business, you're more likely to get that attention that you wouldn't have with someone larger. So thank you again for sharing that. And that's going to be enough for my questions. Looks like we have some in the chat. So I am going to turn the mic over to my colleague, Sarah. Sarah, would you mind asking the first question?
Well, yeah. So the first question is, have you experienced a breaking point where you almost gave up and then bounced back even stronger? We'd like to hear what motivated you to keep going.
Okay, so I've had those points many times. Believe me, it's not an easy journey. I remember one time when I just started, I created the online store. No, before I created the online store, it was a security company. And I had spent so much money. I mean, all my savings, credit cards and everything. And I stayed for 6 months and nobody was even asking me what I was doing in my company. And I started getting really discouraged. I remember my husband told me, this thing is not working. Can we look for something else to do? This thing is not working at all. We have spent a lot and everything. So what do we do? Are you still going to continue with this thing? I told him. I slept that night and I thought I was going to stop the whole thing as well. But then I got up in the morning and I told myself, failure is something that always has to be there. But your ability to rise up is what really matters. And I got up and I said, I'm going to try. I'll keep going. And that is how I got to take a small loan from these financial companies, which I even though I don't regret it because that's what kept me going, but the interest rate was very high and that did not make me happy at all. But I was determined to keep it going. And I kept saying, I may lose so much today, but in the next few years, I may be able to recover all of this. It suffices that I just have one contract, one serious contract, and I'll be good to go. So let me just keep going. And I took a decision and I started doing my ads here and there and contacting people and asking them if they needed services. And I started doing just little things. Like someone may just contact me and say they want to, they have a missing person. They need to find out where the person is, the missing address or the person's address or their phone number or something. So those are little jobs that don't really pay much. You just have a few hundreds, depending on how long you do the job. And I said, I'll do it. And believe me, my husband said, this is too much work for you. How are you going to do it? I said, yes, I have to try, because it is from there that I may be able to pick up things all over again. So I started putting together this $50, $100 from those little online jobs, those little online investigations I was doing. Sometimes people want to know if this partner was married before they get married. They want to do some background check. Others will want to know whether this one is divorced, or I do the online check and I give them the results, and they give me a few dollars, maybe 100, maybe 200 or something, and that kept me going. And since then, I have just been moving forward, and I think I took a right decision to keep up with the work.
Okay, thank you so much, Dina. Again, once again, your answer was very inspiring. Now I'm going to read the second question. Tell us more about some challenges that you encountered. I think you have partly answered that. And how did you overcome them? And also, how did you manage to keep your team when sales fell?
So, I talked about the financial challenges, which have been the main challenges, yes, I've had. And now to keep the team wasn't an easy thing, because first of all, I had to reduce or increase work done by myself. So I do most of the work in order not to employ a lot of people. I took part-time workers more. I decided to get a part-time worker where I'll contact you only on call when I really need you. And then the most interesting thing is that the government finally gave support during the COVID period for businesses. So this support, I try to exploit it, where if you employ somebody, the government will pay part of their salary. So that helped a lot for me to keep the team when sales fell. I depended so much on the government support, and I reduced the employees, and I increased my workload as well. So that's exactly how I tried to go about that specific challenge.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Helen. So I don't see any more questions, but considering the fact that we still have time, if you still have questions, please put them in the chat so that I can read them for Dina.
Oh, I have to say, Dina, you offered so much insight and wisdom today, as well as encouragement. I think a lot of us feel like it's coming down to the end of the year and things are winding down, but this was the perfect dose of encouragement and excitement to finish off the end of the year. So I really, really appreciate the time you spent with us today. Dina's also graciously agreed to be a volunteer mentor. So that's even more support that she's been able to contribute to other immigrant entrepreneurs, helping them elevate to new heights. From her experiences, from the lessons she's learned in her businesses, and being able to impart on others the strength to keep going, and also how to maneuver a lot of these systems. And you spoke a lot about navigating that financial system here in Canada, whether or not you can access support from the government. And so it's really, really great to actually talk about it, because I don't think everyone talks about it, but it's very, very valuable. So if anyone has more questions, looks like we have.
Just one more question. Do you have an accountant, or are you doing the work yourself?
So I do have an accountant, because that is the one thing I prefer to have someone else do it. So I am sure of my accounts and how money is managed. So I have an accountant who does most of my accounting things, even my taxes and everything they do that for me. That's just to help me have a calm head and peace of mind to be able to follow up with the overseeing of the rest of the work. So it's always advisable. Even if you don't have a permanent accountant, you could pay just as you need, as you go, pay as you go. If you need an accountant to do a specific job, you could pay at that time. But if you have some funds, just get one that will take care of all your things, because the accountant I have actually takes care of everything. She has access to my online CRA business account. So she looks at it even when I have a correspondence is coming from CRA. She reads it before me sometimes and she takes care of the answers and she informs me and says, okay, this is what came in and this is what I did. And then I go back to the accountant and see exactly what she has done. So that keeps you stable and helps you stay in line with the exigencies of the CRA. So I think it's good to have an accountant.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
it was the last question that I could see in chat.
Oh, it looks like there was one more.
Okay, so how did you decide that you are getting into security business? Did you feel the need for the service here in Ottawa, or because you had a background in the field?
So besides the background, security is something that is always needed. Because
okay.
Yes, there is no way you can eradicate insecurity. So no matter how much the police is present, no matter how much the gendarmes are present, or the local security officers, there can never be one policeman after one civilian. It's never going to happen. So they always need the extra services of the private security. And that's why I said this is a need, it's a permanent need. And since I have the background, it's not going to take me long to develop the program. So let me go into it. And that's how I got into the security business.
Okay, thank you. And then do you have a LinkedIn profile so that they can connect with you there?
Yes, I have a LinkedIn profile.
Okay. Perfect. So it would be great. Well, maybe I think maybe we can search you and find your name or like the name of your company.
Okay. Did I send it to you, Natasha? I can't hear you anymore. You're muted, Tatanisha. Yeah, you are muted.
You can see on the screen here all the details if you want to connect with us at OneHub, or if you want to connect with Helen. We have her name on LinkedIn. You can also connect to Essokafrique Security on Facebook or on their website. And if you want to connect with her directly, you can reach her at Dina Essoka at gmail.com. So feel free to reach out to her. We will have her profile showcased on our website, www.onehubottawa.ca, and we'll also have her business listed on our business directory of immigrant entrepreneurs. So we are having a growing business directory for immigrant entrepreneurs. If you know an immigrant entrepreneur who would benefit from being on the directory, let us know. There's contact details on the directory as to how to go about doing that. It looks like Tina has raised their hand. Go ahead, Tina, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to ask Dina. My name is Tina Nganda. I'm happy to be on this forum. I just want to ask Dina. As you know, she really has a rich, a very rich a picture in mind, and she's putting it into practice. So, in fact, she really sparked up the fire in me. I just want to like get up and start going. Um, Normally, with such an idea, a raison d'etre, what is her objective? Dina, what is your final, in fact, what do you want to see at the end of all, you know, these these dreams you have, and you're already putting it into practice, which has really spurred me. In fact, I'll count this as a very wonderful day. So at the end of everything, what do you really want to realize?
Thank you, Tina. Thank you for your question. I am someone who has passion to reach out to the world. Don't know if God could bless me with so much, then the world will be blessed as well. As you know, I have two not-for-profit organizations. There is one in Cameroon, which is called Serving the Needy. That I reach out to young girls. I try to educate them, train them to be self-reliant, so they can depend on themselves and not on older men or get married early, as is the case in Africa. And I reach out to widows as well, and that involves a lot of money. So when I'm doing all of these things, it's not so much about myself, because I'm not so much a person who cares so much about myself. I care much about other people. So I need this money to reach out to these people in this organization in Africa. And right here in Canada, I also have a not-for-profit organization, which is it's a young one, which is for bilingual services. It is called Essoka French Bilingual Newcomers Help Center. Here I do only French. I assist people, French newcomers who want to settle in Ontario, because most of them like to come to Ontario, but they are unable to get into the community because of the language barrier. So what I do, when you come in, you contact me, I help you with your resumes and everything in English. I do the translation for you. And sometimes I connect you with welcome centers like the one in Vaughan and the one in and World Skills. Any welcome center I'm in contact with, I connect you. So if they do language lessons, I send you there so you can do your language lessons and everything. So that's what I try to do. I assist them. I assist seniors. I have like a program that's going to start on the 17th. That's on Friday. It's to reach out to seniors every Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. I have a telephone-based program with them where we talk a lot of things. I tell them about the African culture. I tell them about African dishes. I teach them how to cook African dishes. We have a lot of activities. That's basically for seniors. So I help them keep off with or stay okay with the isolation during the COVID period. So most of these things, I try to look for finances to be able to finance those things that do not pay, that do not come up with any income. That's my main objective. And the second thing is I like to impart knowledge. So whenever I have the opportunity, like for instance, when I have this, my security guards, I do a lot of training. I train them. Even though they've been to training centers and they have their licenses, I give continuous learning. I always like to teach. During their free times, I'll ask them to register and I'll give them lessons on security, extra lessons on security and how they can be up to date with their daily activities. So that's my objective, giving out knowledge and be able to reach out to the needy. Thank you.
Wonderful. So we're going to close up. It looks like I did a typo with the email, the website for the online store. I apologize for that, but the one on the screen here is correct. So feel free to take a screenshot of it. That's www.flicekam PARTNERSINC.ca. And that's where you'll find the online store. It's incredible what you just shared, Dina, about the wonderful social impact that you're making in the community. I think we are in a season where there's a rise of social impact organizations growing. And so it's amazing how you've done this even from when you were back home and still growing it. So we're gonna wrap up today. Again, take a screenshot of Dina's information if you want to connect with her after this session. We will. Awesome. Yes. So thank you again, Dina, for your time today. Thank you everyone for taking the time out in your lunch hour to pop in and enjoy. We'll have our next Lunch and Learn in February, the beginning of February. We have an exciting guest lined up, so hope to see you there. And
everyone, thanks Dina, and thanks Tatanisha for organizing this wonderful event.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Thank you
the
so much, Dina.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. Dina, I'm from Cameroon. I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get in
Thank you.
touch, please. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Dina.
you.
My name is
Thank
Brenda.
you.
Thank you. Good job. Bye.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you guys again.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tata
you.
Nisha.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Mhm.